Our last full day in DC, we took a night tour and we had the best tour guide ever in DC.
17, I'd like to welcome you aboard. Our driver is Chuck. Say hello to Chuck, everyone.
Hi, Chuck.
My name is Vernon, like Mount Vernon. I'm your tour guide, okay?
Woo!
All right, hey, how's everybody? Say hi.
Hi.
There you go. So what bus number we on? What's the driver's name?
Chuck.
What's my name?
Vernon.
There you go. So the seats that you are sitting in, ladies and gentlemen, these are your assigned seats for tonight, okay? We're happy to keep track of everyone. Now, when we get to stops, I'm going to give you a time to be back at the bus, okay? And what's our bus number?
1820.
It's better to be 2 minutes early than 1 minute late. I dare used to tell my siblings like that all the time, okay? You see, our curfew was 12 o'clock. So at 12:01, he put the deadbolt on. Yes, he did. So my siblings, we spent many nights on the front porch. You know, for real, you know. My mom, you know, she felt sorry for us because she was our mom, but she didn't open the door. She made sure we had blankets and snacks on the front porch, okay? But get this. You know, we had a family reunion after, 3 or 4 years, right? We back home, North Carolina, we partying, doing it up. And then my sister said, oh, shoot, it's 1:30. I was like, we got to get back to the house. Guess what our curfew is when we stay with our parents? 12 o'clock. I'm 53, my sister 56, my brother's 49, okay? So we get back home, can we get in? Nope. So we went around to our bedroom window, right? Knocked on the window, and my nephew, my brother's son, came to the window. And he opened, he said, yeah, what's up? And my brother said, hey, go open the door. He said, Papa said, do not open no doors in his house after 12 o'clock. So good thing we make a modest living, we was able to get a Motel 6. Okay? All right, now look, we have a restroom in the back, okay? Number 1 only.
Yeah.
That's it, number 1. If you got to do anything past number 1, let us know. We'll try to make some other arrangements, okay? All right. Now, if you have a question, feel free to ask. If you have a question, feel free to ask. If I know the answer, I will answer. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you. It's going to be your job to Google the answer and let me know the answer. You may want to add it into my tour. Who knows, okay? If I ask you a question, if you know the answer, please answer the question. Do not worry about making me feel uncomfortable. Please answer the question, okay, ladies and gentlemen?
This night tour consisted of visiting very famous buildings and monuments in Washington, D.C., and the tour guide was very knowledgeable about different Washington, D.C. facts, government facts, and U.S. history facts. He was very funny and was really knowledgeable about everything and was really cool to talk with. And I enjoyed this night tour a lot, actually, even though it was really, really cold that day and that night.
Like one piece of art in there is a crowbar. A crowbar. And it's supposed to represent the opening to another door. I'm like, okay, I can see a crowbar. I don't know what I can see a crowbar. But there's the big blue rooster right there.
What?
Yeah. Well, I do start the day, I guess the awakening, yeah. But maybe you need to work in the museum, man. You said maybe I should work in the museum. Maybe you need to work in the museum.
Yeah. It's like over there somewhere. What's with these?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is intentional. They had to put the light there so it can cast a shadow on the building.
I ain't gonna lie, these cop car lights is like ruining the vibe.
Okay, come on now. All right. We don't interpret it. I know that's right. Now I have a better understanding. Thank you. I'm gonna put that in my tour. Oh, I ain't got it right. It's right here, my boy, right now. I'm gonna go home and get in my mirror and I'm gonna
Oh, it's right there.
I bought one and then I realized that I still can't.
It said cock-a-doodle-doo.
All right.
Man, what's
All right. So the building that's on your right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Canadian Embassy. That is the Canadian Embassy. The building on your right. The building on your left, there is the National Gallery of Art. That building there. That building was completed in 1934. Now, the building that you see on your right under construction here, This building used to be the museum. The museum was dedicated to newspaper articles all across the world. They ran into some financial issues. That's why they shut down. John Hopkins purchased the building for over $300 million.
Oh.
On your left, this is the PCB building, the Trade Commission building. They investigate fraud. Yep, like internet fraud and all that. Now, slow down, Chuck. This building on your right, it is Pink Decor. This is the National Council for Negro Women.
Oh.
Yep. That's Dorothy Heiss. That's right. She became director in 1957. Mary McLeod Bethune started the organization. Yep. That used to be a hotel. So they, they own the building, and it's considered to be a historical landmark.
Okay.
Yep. So, and it's named in honor of Dorothy Heiss, who's from Maryland, civil rights activist.
And also a Delta.
And also a Delta. All right. So when you go through this light here, ladies and gentlemen, on your right-hand side is the Navy Memorial. It's dedicated to the men and women that serve in the Navy. So when we ride past it, now because it's the wintertime, they turn the fountains off, but usually the fountain is on in the water. Politicians used to meet in the lobby to smoke their cigars and have drinks. Like Ulysses S. Grant used to walk around from the White House to the Willard Hotel to smoke his cigars because his wife would not allow him to smoke his cigars in the White House. So who runs the White House? The First Lady or the President? The First Lady. Get this, one time he came around to the Willard Hotel smoking cigars, there's a bunch of people in the lobby waiting on him. He said, you guys in the lobby more than I am. I'm going to start calling you guys lobbyists. Yeah. Yeah. You get this. Now, the Willard Hotel is where Dr. King stayed in 1963 when he was here for the March on Washington.
Yeah, so picture taking.
Yep. And the Willard Hotel, ladies and gentlemen, is also where I met my beautiful wife.
Aww.
Yep. Janet Jackson. Oh, what's all this? What? So no, oh, I can't get Janet? You see all this swag up here?
Okay.
I know she married a billionaire, but I said, go get that money, boo. We'll be okay. Y'all laughing. Y'all don't hurt my family. All right, now, on your left, ladies and gentlemen, on your left is the Treasury Department, okay? Department of Treasury. Who was the first Secretary of Treasury? That's right, Hamilton. There you go. Alexander Hamilton. Somebody went to see the play.
The musical.
That's Secret Service. Yep, that's Secret Service. All right,
Where?
yes, Alexander Hamilton. All right, he's the first Secretary of Treasury. Now, he has a statue located in the Capitol building. He's commissioned in. But there's a statue located in front of the building, and the statue that's located in front of the building is a statue of Albert Gallatin. Albert Gallatin was Secretary of Treasury when Thomas Jefferson was president. And he pulled the country out of debt. And the country, it took him 4 years. The country was in debt for like $38 million, but he was able to pull the country out of debt. And Thomas Jefferson and Albert Gallatin made a purchase in 1803. What purchase was that? That's right. Anybody know for how much? $15 million. Yep, $15 million. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way to our next destination, which is the White House, ladies and gentlemen. The White House, 55,000 square feet, okay? From the East Wing to the West Wing. The East Wing is where the First Lady and her staff works. The West Wing is where the President and his staff works. The offices are oval, and the reason why, when they were designing the White House, George Washington said, let's make the offices oval because anywhere you sit in the office, you'll be facing someone, okay? So that's why. Now, located on the...
Here we are racing to go see the White House in the front, which was really awesome because 2 days ago we went inside and toured the White House. So it was nice getting to see the front of the White House and also getting the opportunity to go see inside of the White House too, which was really a cool opportunity in my opinion.
Now, the first presidential family to live in the White House was John Adams, okay? Because see, George Washington died in 1799. The White House wasn't completed until 1801. But George Washington did lay the cornerstone in 1791 for the White House. And you guys saw Secret Service. Can anyone tell me which president started the Secret Service? And it's ironic how this president was assassinated.
Abe
No, it wasn't Kennedy.
Lincoln.
Lincoln. It was Abraham Lincoln, right? Yeah, I know, like, yeah, when he shot and killed, what were they doing? Sleep? Well, no. At the time, when Secret Service, when Abraham Lincoln started the Secret Service, that job was not to protect the president. Their job was to infiltrate organizations that was making counterfeit money. So that's what they did. It wasn't until William McKinley was assassinated in Buffalo, New York, and that's when they decided to get the president some protection. And Theodore Roosevelt was the first president to have Secret Service protection. All right, so we're standing in front of Dr. King's Memorial, ladies and gentlemen, designed by a Chinese artist by the name of Zheng Li. Now, the family did get a lot of pushback for going with the artist that they chose. But if you look at his work, you see why they went with this artist. Look at how detailed he was. Okay, from his eyes to the flare in Dr. King's nose, to the wrinkles in Dr. King's lips, to the dimple that Dr. King had in his chin. Look at the veins in his hand. Okay, he was very detailed. Okay, so there's an unwritten rule here in Washington D.C. that Congress does not want any statue to be taller than the Statue of Freedom that's here on top of the dome. She's 19 and a half feet tall. But Dr. King's statue is one of the tallest. Is the tallest statue here on the National Mall. He's 30 feet. That he's focused on something, right? Where he is, he's looking south towards his home of Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? Now, Dr. King always had a speech on. So the family felt that it was important to represent that in the statue. Okay? So that's what he's holding. He's holding a speech in his hand. Now, you do not see the completion of his legs and feet, right? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's supposed to represent the incompleteness of Dr. King's work. You see, Dr. King was 39 years old when he was murdered down in Memphis, Tennessee, in front of the Lorraine Hotel. 39. So the incompleteness of his legs and feet represents the incompleteness of his work. Now, Dr. King, okay, he was here on August the 28th, 1963, for the March of Washington, okay? A protest for jobs, discrimination, and police brutality. He gave a speech. What was the name of that speech?
I Have a Dream.
I Have a Dream. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I Have a Dream wasn't even part of Dr. King's original speech. You see, I Have a Dream was actually a sermon that Dr. King wrote from a dream he did have. And he gave that sermon in North Carolina a week before he was here for the March of Washington. And his best friend, gospel singer, Mahalia Jackson, she attended that service. So she heard that speech, that sermon. So she was also here for the March of Washington. She was sitting behind Dr. King when Dr. King was giving his speech. And when he got towards the end of his speech, ladies and gentlemen, Mahalia Jackson stood up out her seat and she called out to him. She said, "Martin, tell him about that dream you had." And that's when he did a snippet of "I Have a Dream," ladies and gentlemen. And that's how it became known as "I Have a Dream" speech. Any questions?
This was one of my favorite parts of the night tour, which was seeing Dr. King's statue. And this was also the day before his birthday, actually.
I'm gonna talk about it inside, then you can come out and go to the memorial.
Oh, that's cool. Is this where they had the Rocky movie? Oh no, that was a different place. That was a different place. It's okay. We thought the Treasury building was the White House when we came, because we toured the White House on Friday.
Oh, okay.
We were getting catfish.
To be honest, I did not know that inside the Abraham Lincoln Memorial there was an inside portion where it's like a little museum with facts and quotes during Abraham Lincoln's lifetime, and there's even bathrooms, and it's actually quite warm inside there. There's also even an elevator to make it accessible for people who are in wheelchairs can go up to take pictures with the statue.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are now located at the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial was designed by Henry Beacon, and it is made of 300 tons of marble. The marble came from several locations here in the United States: Colorado, Vermont, Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. That's where the marble came from, ladies and gentlemen. And it's designed like a Greek temple, okay? And that's why Abraham Lincoln is sitting inside like a Greek god on his throne. Now, there's 36 Greek columns going around. That's to represent the 36 states that were in the Union when Abraham Lincoln was president, okay? Now, there's 58 steps that go all the way up to the building. About 58. 56 represents his age when he died. 2 steps represents how many terms he served as president. Now, the memorial, they started construction of the memorial in 1914. It was completed in 1922. So we just celebrated the centennial of the opening of the Lincoln Memorial. Okay. Now, this is Exhibition Hall. Now, these are speeches and speeches that Abraham Lincoln wrote to people that he gave. I mean, speeches and letters, and everything is centered around the Declaration of Independence and the inhumane act of slavery. Okay, so that's what these speeches represent here. Back here is the Civil Rights Movement. That's where you will see like the March of Washington. You will see Marian Anderson when she performed on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1939, where she couldn't perform at Constitution Hall. Also, the Lincoln Memorial is where Dr. King gave the speech, "I Have a Dream." As you walk up the steps, to go into the memorial, the last platform for you take those final steps up, right there in the center, there's a marker that says, "I have a dream." The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., August the 28th, 1963. That's where that marker is located, okay? And you can take a picture of that marker. Any questions? All right, so you can take the elevator up or you can take the steps up. The restroom is right here on your right-hand side. Hold on, let me give you a time.
Okay, oh shit, steep. Ah! Why is it so steep? Taking the stairs. Wait, this is cool. These are the stuff that Martin Luther King stuff. Over here, somewhere. Oh. This is like walking on basketball. Wait, where is it?
That's my little commentary of walking up the stairs to go see the Abraham Lincoln Memorial statue, and it's really huge, and that building in general is like huge. It's so tall. On this wall right here is the quote slash speech that Abraham Lincoln gave during his time, and it's just really cool to see everything in this building. Everything's so tall too, like it's quite fascinating, and it was just really nice to actually sit and be part of where a lot of history has been done, honestly. It was really nice because at this memorial, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did his most famous speech called "I Had a Dream" on these very steps that I was walking up, and right behind Martin Luther King was the Abraham Lincoln Memorial statue. So I was literally stepping back in history, stepping back in time. After the night tour, it was very late and we had to wake up extra early to catch our flights back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I just want to say thank you for following me on this journey to Washington, D.C. And I really want to thank my scholarship people program for giving me this opportunity to go on this trip. Everything was paid for and it was all free, and it was actually a really, really good experience.